This is the 3 Count Podcast, and you're next.
Me?
Not you, Benny. It's okay.
Oh,
I'm your host, Dylan Chambers. Welcome to the 3 Count Podcast. I'm here, as always, with Ben Hobden. Benny, how are you?
Dylan, I am great. But the big question is, how are you, mate? Happy birthday.
I'm doing okay. Feeling a little bit older, but I thought if any day is the right day to wear this one,
nice.
I'll rock the Happy Rusev Day shirt today. So
Love it.
Thank you very much. Look, today we're going to take you through what happened at Crown Jewel, as well as Smackdown and Raw with the new rosters happening. We're going to look at what's been happening in AEW and just around the wrestling business in general, as we always do. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, or if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, hit that follow button. We're going to mix it up today a little bit, Benny. We're going to go through the Crown Jewel pay-per-view first, and then we'll hit up the news afterwards. So how'd you think Crown Jewel went all up?
I thought overall it was a pretty good card. I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's, from all reports, WWE was pretty happy about how it went. I thought it was a fun pay-per-view. It was cool. The time wasn't great, but
no, I didn't end up watching it live. Unfortunately, I fell asleep because I'd worked the night before. So I ended up watching it the next day, but I thought it was really good.
Yeah, neither did I. 3 a.m. wake up call was a little bit too much, but it was a great pay-per-view. We'll get straight into it. We had a pre-show match, which we weren't aware about, which was the Usos and the Hurt Business. The Usos got the win after a flurry of super kicks and then an Uso splash. What'd you think?
It was a fun match. It was just sort of, I guess they had to put them on the card because we knew they were going to be there because like both tag teams would have been helping out people later in the match. So I thought it was a good match. I gave it 1.5 count personally. Yeah,
1.5 count for me. Just solid tag match. Both teams are good. I'm actually kind of glad to see Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin back together. You know, they didn't really have much going for them as singles at the moment.
No, not at all. It was good. Like once MVP disappeared, they sort of brought them back in to help out with Bobby Lashley and stuff like that. I think they're a great tag team, and I've always been a big Shelty B fan. So
we love Shelty B on the podcast. We then start off the pay-per-view with the Hell in a Cell match.
What a way to start the whole the main card. Crazy
what a way to kick it off. Awesome match. It was finished off. Edge locked in a crossface using a steel chain and then gave Rollins a stomp on a chair for the win.
Yeah, Rollins wrapped that chain around his foot and he was going to stomp on Edge's head. I was like, oh, what's going on here? It's like this could be it. This could be it. But it was a great match. Just back and forth. Like the psychology was great in that match.
Really great. Those two work so well together.
Yeah. What's that? The third time they've gone up against each other now? It was 1-1.
Yeah,
so
it was the rubber match. So
Edge takes the 2-1.
I'm sure we'll see something happen in the future, seeing as they're both on the same brand as well. So
they'll cross paths again. They'll both be in the title hunt now, I'd say.
You would think so. I gave it a 2.5. I
gave it a 2.5 count as well. It was
probably equal match of the night, possibly.
Oh, it was probably match of the night for me, but yeah.
Up there. We then move on to the singles match, Mansoor and Mustafa Ali, which was actually a pretty good match.
It wasn't bad.
I was surprised. Bad. I thought Mansoor really showed out. He got the win after a spinning neck breaker from the apron and then got the 3 count. Now, the big thing after this match was Ali attacked Mansoor once the match was done, but he was saved by Saudi Olympic karate silver medalist Tarek Hamidi, who knocked Ali out with a kick to the head, which was, funnily enough, was an illegal kick to the head, which got him DQ'd in the Olympics and cost him the gold medal.
That was pretty funny the way that they didn't really mention that bit, but they did say silver medalist. But when he first came out, I was like, because obviously he had the face like covered and everything. I was like, who is this? And then I was hoping it was going to be Ernest the Cat Miller for a second there. He's going to do a little. I was like, what's going on? But no, it was a good little twist.
What kept going through my head when he came out was like, please don't be Daivari, like.
Oh yeah!
Please, no! It's got to be someone interesting. And
the crowd popped for him though. Once he took the
crowd popped huge.
Yeah, no, it was good to see.
I'm glad they explained who he was because I wouldn't have known.
Not for us to look at him. No, we wouldn't have known. But yeah,
incredible. That's good fun. I actually gave that a 2 count. I enjoyed the match and the theatrics after it.
I gave it a 1.5. But it did the show. There's all those memes that have been going around this week. It's like Mansoor in Saudi Arabia and then Mansoor in WWE. It's like he's just like a shell of his former self whenever he's in America.
Poor Mansoor.
He's just a dynamite over there.
Yeah, he's fun to watch though. I like him. We then move on to the Raw Tag Team Championship match.
Will this never end?
RK Bro against AJ Styles and Omos. Riddle came down to the ring on a camel.
Well, at first he went backstage. He came out on the scooter, and then he just left Randy, and Randy was like, "What's going on?" And then next thing you know, he turns around and there's a camel. I was like, "What is going on here?"
To be honest, that was almost the highlight of the match.
I was literally just about to say that. Yeah, like that was. I don't know what's going on there.
I mean, the tag champs, they got the win. Orton turned a phenomenal forearm into an RKO. And Riddle finished AJ off with a floating bro. As for one of their matches, it wasn't the worst.
No, true. But we've seen it so many times.
We've seen it so many times. Time to end it. I still gave it a 1.5.
Yeah. For the match itself, 1.5, but I'll take half a count off just because we've seen it so many times and I'm over it. And I love Randy. So, and AJ's great as well, but I can't get around almost at all. Riddle still hasn't won me over. One count for me.
Fair enough.
Just over it.
We then get to the Queen's Crown tournament final, Doudrop and Zelina Vega, and I did not see this one coming.
Wow, what happened there? I actually thought it wasn't that bad. Like for the story they told, I didn't think it was too bad. Like
I was just going to say the exact same thing. I mean, it's not a 5-star crazy match, but for what they had to work with for their talent levels, Doudrop made that Code Red look awesome.
That's what it's called. I couldn't remember what it was called. Code Red. Yeah, that was impressive. To be fair, the way she flipped that over. But I thought she'd kick out. I still thought she'd kick out of that.
Yeah.
And then, Zelina
Vega is your new queen of WWE with the surprise win over Doudrop. I still gave it a 1 count.
I was just about to say the same thing. I still only gave it a 1 count. But
as much as we just talked it up, I still gave it a 1 count.
I was expecting it to be like a 0. So, or even a minus. We might go into minuses, but I mean, and how many minutes? I think they got like 6 minutes or something, 5 minutes.
They didn't get too long.
It's better than the 2.5 minutes they were getting in the semi-final matches. So, I mean, but, and I also did gamble responsibly and back Zelina Vega on that match. So,
you did?
Yeah. I think I got the sports bet out count just up a little bit. So
nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
We then had a no holds barred match between Goldberg and Bobby Lashley. Now, there wasn't much finesse to this one.
Just a couple of big blokes going at it.
Yeah, a lot of chair shots, tables, and kendo sticks. Goldberg hit the spear and the jackhammer. Lashley retreated out of the ring and then got speared through the barricade. Tried to escape again and use his boys, the Hurt Business, to come out and take out Goldberg with some kendo sticks. Of course, Goldberg 3-on-1, that doesn't bother him.
Especially not in Saudi Arabia.
Especially not in Saudi Arabia. Didn't bother him. He dispatched of them, used the kendo sticks on Lashley, and then speared him off the ramp for the 3 count.
Yeah, well, he had the win with the spear and the jackhammer, and he just chose not to pin him. Even the commentators like, what's going on? And lo and behold, of course, he just wanted to assert a bit more pain on him. And
he wanted to try and murder him, didn't he?
Well, that's it. He wanted his body count. He wanted that body count. So, look, I gave it only 1.5 count myself personally, but it was fun. Like, I mean, it was just a lot of spearing and a lot of just screaming and yelling.
I gave it a 2 originally, but I have dropped it down to 1.5 now. It was your classic Goldberg. We're just going to give you all the moves, and that's all he needs to do.
Yeah, he didn't botch as much as I thought he was going to botch, which was a surprise.
I'm sure he's been working on that because of past experiences.
There was one kendo shot where Bobby Lashley was like already up like that with his arms in the air waiting for it, and Goldberg hadn't even picked up the kendo stick yet. I was like, oh, it's just that half a step off. But obviously he hasn't been in the ring that much. But Bobby did his job. Bobby didn't look bad after all of it, because Goldberg's such a beast. So I mean, going forward, hopefully Goldberg's out now. Bobby will go forward now and continue.
Well, Bobby's going to be out for a little while now, apparently.
Really?
He tweeted something out during Raw saying that he'll be back better than ever soon.
Okay.
So he's out for the time being, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And Goldberg's obviously his contract's kind of done now, so we just wait till the next contract.
Yeah. Who's he going to smudge next?
Yeah. We then move on to the King of the Ring tournament final. Finn Balor and Xavier Woods. Now, Xavier's childhood dream comes true. Woods rolled out of a coup de grace attempt, then hit the gut buster and the his special new flying elbow for the win.
Yeah. Woohoo. He got it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I really, I mean, when you see these two on the card, you assume it's a Finn Balor win.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really nice for Woods to get the win clean in the middle of the ring. Good for Balor to put him over. And
for me, I just thought WWE, who they are, they're not going to give it to him.
Yeah.
We're so entrenched in our brains now that whatever we want to happen, WWE goes, screw you, it's not happening. So I thought it's not going to happen. And then when he got the win, I was like, oh, wow, that's so good. Like, I'm so happy for him.
Yeah.
And I don't think Balor come out of it looking bad either.
No.
Because of what it was, and because we knew the story of Woods always wanting it and whatever else, he's put him over, and that's great. And
exactly.
Balor can just wipe that slate clean now and move on.
It doesn't hurt Balor, and he went straight into a number one contenders match on Raw.
The ladder match, yeah.
Anyways, we then move on to the WWE Championship match. We had Big E and Drew McIntyre. Now,
Say it.
Two big meaty men slapping meat. I love it. Big E gets the win with the big ending after surviving a Claymore. I gave it a 1.5. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it did its job. A 1.5 count for me as well. You're right though. It was just two big meaty men. Like Drew's huge.
He is.
But we just knew that Big E was going to get the win because he was the champ.
There was everything was against Drew.
Drew's going to Smackdown, so. But yeah, it was surprising that he could have sort of kicked out of the Claymore, or didn't kick, like survived the Claymore. And Drew went for the big ending himself at one stage, but Big E got out of that. So yeah, it was a fun match.
And hey, Big E kicking out of a Claymore, that does a lot for him as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to go away from Big E as the champ. I'm not enjoying it.
No,
I enjoy him more as just like having fun and doing all the other stuff. He's had the title now. Move on. Serious
Big E, you're not a fan.
Nah, it's not enjoying it.
All right. Well, hopefully he picks things up. Well, he should have a new challenger now, which we'll talk about a bit later, which could make him very interesting. We then move on to the SmackDown Women's Championship triple threat match. We got Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, and Sasha Banks. Now, I thought this was a cracker of a match. Just false finishes, moves everywhere.
See, I'm going to go against you here. I'm sorry, but I hated it.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was sloppy. I don't know whether I've gone off triple threat matches as well. I found it so sloppy at times. There was just too many times where like they were waiting for their to interact, and it just didn't work for me.
I mean, there's a definite dance to it, right? It's time for this dance move. It's time for this dance move with triple threat matches. But look, I enjoyed it. The man, still the champ. There was a couple of impressive things. She had a double disarmer on Belair and Banks, and Belair lifted both of them up off the ground.
She's strong. She is so strong.
She's really strong. Belair ended up hitting a kiss of death on Lynch while she was in the Banks statement, which was good. And then both Banks and Belair were fighting to cover the champ. Banks ended up getting Belair outside of the ring. When she went for the pin, Lynch rolled her up and grabbed the bottom rope for the win.
Such a heel move.
Heelish move.
Such a heel move. I love it. It was a good win. I only gave it a 1.5 count. As I said, it just didn't work for me. It was just very disjointed at times, but it was still fun watch.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like they still put on a show, but
is it just me, or is the manhandle slam the rock bottom?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. 100% it is. She even tweeted out a couple of weeks ago that she asked The Rock if she could use it. Then he gave his blessing. So
they need to change the name because it reminds me of pump handle slam, and it looks nothing like a pump handle slam.
True.
So
it's just the rock bottom.
It is just the rock bottom. Okay, it's not just me. I gave it a 2.5. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
We then move on to the Universal Championship match, the final match of the evening: Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. It looked like it was going to be over. Lesnar hit the F5 on Roman, but in the process knocked the ref out. He pinned him for an eternity. There was no ref to make the count. Reigns then caught Lesnar with a spear, and while both men were on the ground, the interesting part of the match was Heyman throwing the belt into the ring, basically right in between both of them.
Yeah, and he screamed out, "You know what to do with it."
That's right.
So who was he talking to?
After a bit of a tug of war, Lesnar had the belt, looked like it was going to be over, and the Usos came in, gave him some super kicks. And then Reigns hit Lesnar with the title and covered him for the win.
Yeah, that was a good match.
It was a good match. It did exactly what it needed to without, I mean, they're going to keep this Lesnar thing going until WrestleMania, no doubt.
Yeah.
It was a good way to keep the title on Roman. And it was a fun match. I gave it a 2.
Yeah, I gave it a 2 count as well. Lesnar still looked like a beast the whole way through it. Obviously,
absolutely.
It took 3 men and a belt to take him out. Roman wins as a heel move again, using the title. Like, we've seen it, but I think it still worked well. You know what I mean? Like, Roman gets the win again by cheating. Is he the best? He's just going to come back. He's going to tell us all he's the best again and whatever else. But he's still got the title, so he obviously is, you know what I mean? And that's just such a heel thing to do. So he's playing the part really well. Lesnar's just Lesnar, I suppose. He's just, and then we seen on SmackDown the very next day, which we'll probably talk about, what he came out and just dismantled the place. So, I mean, he still looks huge.
He runs the show when he wants to. So that was Crown Jewel, a very enjoyable pay-per-view. And we'll jump straight into what's happening in WWE now. Now that Crown Jewel was finished, we now had the 2 new brands starting with new rosters. And the big news to come out of all of this is a title exchange between Charlotte and Becky, swapping the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships. Now, a bit of a botched segment, apparently. Becky wasn't happy about it. Sonya Deville, who was involved, wasn't happy about it. Charlotte dropped the title on the ground, which was not supposed to happen.
For me, the way they're going on about it, I don't know if Becky's reached over to grab it. Charlotte spun away. It didn't look like she deliberately threw it on the ground to me.
Yeah.
But
is it all much ado about nothing?
That's what I feel like. But I think the way that they're saying backstage, like, is she trying to get herself fired? Like, all this kind of stuff. Everybody hates her backstage now. They reckon she's difficult to work with.
Well, news is that she was escorted out of the building after
I heard that. That's
the segment
weird.
as well.
Probably for her own safety, they reckon. I don't know.
And wouldn't talk to Vince either. So
wow. Okay. Well, I suppose her partner is over at AEW. Rick's not real good on WWE terms at the moment. So, I mean, she's probably had enough of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. It's and the replay of SmackDown, they've already edited out that bit as well. I noticed. Yeah. So
do you think it's a pride thing of, like, you know, just we can't have the title belt being thrown on the ground like it's nothing?
Well, I guess Vince in his head, he's just got that visual of Medusa dropping it in the bin on WCW back in the
possibly.
day. So that anytime the title goes in, like, it just instantly thinks about that. So,
but, you know, WWE aren't going away from it. They're teasing the feud between Charlotte and Becky going into Survivor Series. So
yeah, well, that's what Becky said. When she walked out of the ring, she goes, "I'll see one of you at Survivor Series," between Charlotte and Sasha. So
yeah,
be interesting.
Could be very interesting. Now, SmackDown was the following night. They did a good job of getting from Saudi Arabia back to SmackDown the next night.
Yeah, was it pre-taped?
It wasn't pre-taped, I don't think. It was live. So they must have gotten on a plane straight out of Saudi Arabia.
Another plane ride from hell?
I think after that, Ed, I think they're probably not doing those anymore. So SmackDown, we saw Lesnar get suspended indefinitely. He basically came out and trashed the whole place.
Beat up on Adam Pearce.
Adam Pearce suspended him, and then he gave him 2 F5s, broke his pants. And
yeah, he split his pants.
So
McAfee had a field day with that, didn't he?
He did. This works for the story to get Lesnar off TV for a while, coming back up to WrestleMania. We saw Hit Row make their debut, which was it was a little bit cringy.
Yeah, it really was. It was awkward to watch. Like, I wanted to fast forward it, but I was watching it live, so I couldn't.
I saw what they were trying to do. You know, get them a bit of get the punchlines out, and try and get them a bit of love. The crowd weren't behind it.
No, it felt so scripted. Like, I know it was, and I know it's there, but, like, it just felt so scripted. Like, nothing natural about it.
It seemed awkward, but you never know. Yeah, they beat up on some jobbers, so obviously they're getting a big push. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go.
Like, they look good in the ring. They look good in the ring.
Oh yeah, look great in the ring.
Yeah, just coming out was really awkward.
Yeah, we had Xavier Woods' Coronation, which was a fun watch. Probably not too much else coming out of SmackDown.
Just on Woods as well, when he won it at Crown Jewel, did you see when he went and sat up on the throne and he quickly grabbed the camera and he's like, right, I'm the king now, follow me. Whatever I say, don't worry about Kevin Dunn in the truck, just whatever I tell you to do, you put the camera on me from now on. It's like, this is my reign. I thought that was pretty fun because there was no promos at all on Crown Jewel. I don't know if you noticed. So that was kind of like the only promo that we seen, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. What I couldn't help but notice afterwards was how he just couldn't get the cape on.
Yeah, he threw it on the ground. He's like,
he was struggling.
We'll do that later.
He was struggling. We then move on to Raw a few nights later, and we had a 4-way ladder match to become number 1 contender, which Seth Rollins won.
Straight into the title.
Rollins, Big E. I think that'll be a good feud.
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting one because Rollins is good. Obviously, we know that, but like he's good in the ring. That he can work with the bigger guys and work with the smaller guys, and
he can make everyone look good.
Big E's very athletic though as well. So
yeah.
I mean, he's going to be able to, like, Rollins will get him up, and Big E will be able to get up in a few of those moves and stuff like that. And I think they'll both look good. This could be a good little feud.
I think so too. I mean, Rollins is great with everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, Big E's fun, so I think it'll be good.
The old could have a match with a broom handle or whatever.
With a mop. That's it.
Moppy. Perry Saturn.
Moppy.
It was his birthday yesterday. I actually seen that.
Oh, there you go. Happy birthday, Perry Saturn. We also had Zelina Vega was crowned as queen and interrupted by Doudrop, who she beat again. Do you think, when Zelina came back, she dropped match after match after match after match? Do you think this was like, come back, drop all these matches, and eventually you'll get this?
No. I don't think they planned that far ahead. You'd like to think they planned that far ahead, but I think Vince changes his mind on a daily. Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't just have Doudrop beat her and crown her the new queen again. Just why not? That's something that they do,
Just schmoz it up.
Yeah, who cares? From now on, whoever wins those matches gets the queen. That's done.
Schmoz it right up. Give it no love. We saw Damian Priest came out to a new entrance theme. He's got no more...
Where the arrow's gone?
Arrow shtick. And apparently it's a bit of a change of character. He's going to be fighting his inner demons with a bit of a good versus evil kind of gimmick running inside him.
I don't know how that's going to work. Didn't really get over for me, but I mean...
Yeah, it'll be interesting. But I guess his character didn't have much to it, right? It was just, I'm happy Damian Priest, I won the title, but there's no real depth to it. So I guess maybe they're trying to change something a little bit.
We'll see how that goes.
We'll see. Yeah, they've misfired on a lot of stuff like that recently. Speaking of stuff they're trying to change, I did hear reports that they're trying to make Rick Boogs playing the guitar, giving Shinsuke special regenerative powers.
No. Where did you read that? That's got to be fake. Please tell me that's fake.
I hope it's fake. I really hope it's fake.
Actually, no. You know what? Now I hope it's real.
As soon as he gets on the guitar, Shinsuke gets up.
Hulking up? Does he start hulking up, or like the warrior or something? Just grabs.
Maybe it's like the demon with the.
Oh yeah! Oh, the red flashing light.
Red flashing lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going,
or
going to the well.
It's like the Undertaker's urn.
Yeah, going to the well a bit too often. We saw the Dirty Dogs become the number 1 contenders for the tag titles and then lose to RK Bro.
What a sad sort of little situation they are. They just come out and they're always just that
is
other
sad.
team.
Split them up.
Yeah,
get them to. But
then what are they going to do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't think either of them are good enough to actually make a run at a title in either.
How good was the glorious Bobby Roode when he first he was big on NXT. He came up to the brand. He was, with the glorious theme song. It was glorious, but yeah, he's fallen very far. Yeah. So that's it for kind of what happened on SmackDown and Raw, but there's been a bit of other stuff happening in WWE.
Yeah.
We'll get to Halloween Havoc in a minute, which happened yesterday, but some interesting news coming out that apparently Paul Heyman wanted Malachi Black, was Aleister Black back at the time, to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 36. And Vince decided to go for Drew McIntyre instead.
Yeah.
How things could have been different.
And then Alistair Black came back and just was nothing. Like they were going to give him that push, and then nothing happened.
Yeah,
It was
very
weird.
Very sad. Congratulations to Carmella and Corey Graves. They announced their engagement.
Yeah, nice.
Which they've stayed away from talking about their relationship on commentary. But they finally mentioned it on Raw this week.
Yeah, it's as you said, they've never mentioned it. Like it's just always been like in the background.
Yeah.
Obviously, she was on Total Divas and all that kind of stuff. So
people
like,
know.
It's always been talk about that.
Yeah.
He's been on there. He's been on the show as well. So everyone knew.
Exciting news for us in Australia. So WWE have revealed the 2022 pay-per-view schedule. Yeah. WrestleMania is going to be over 2 nights. One of them will be on a Sunday for us. We have the day one pay-per-view. It's titled at the moment, which will be the New Year's Day in the States, which will be Sunday, January 2nd over here. We've also got Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series are all going to be on Saturdays in the US, which means Sunday pay-per-views for us.
So the big 4 plus Money in the Bank,
pretty
much. So that's pretty good. WrestleMania over 2 nights, which we talked about a few podcasts ago. I mentioned, but it is good for us. When Sunday lunchtime,
Sunday pay-per-views, love it.
Yeah,
crack a beer, watch some wrestling. Beautiful.
I'll do that on a Monday anyway.
Now, we've also found out where some of the undrafted superstars have landed. Now, Bayley, Lacey Evans, and Eva Marie are still left unassigned. Makes sense for Bayley and Lacey Evans. You know, they're probably not going to be back for a while. Eva Marie, I don't know what they're doing.
Just get rid of her, seriously. Yeah. Like, Lacey Evans makes sense. I don't think she'll be back for a while because she just had a second kid.
Just had a baby.
Bayley, it's better. We spoke about it. It's better that Bayley doesn't. We don't know where she's going, so she can just attack somebody and come out.
Exactly.
That's it.
We have Asuka, Elias, Grand Metalik, and Lince Dorado are all assigned to Raw at the moment. So whether we see them anytime soon or not, especially after their repackaging Elias just went nowhere.
Yeah, the only one out of that makes any sense for me is Asuka, really. The other 3, like Metalik and Dorado, they just sort of come in and out every now and then as a tag team, put on a couple of rope jumping moves, and that's it. They're back out again. So
that's pretty much it. Now we'll move on to Halloween Havoc, which took place yesterday.
It was fun.
What a day for Toxic Attraction.
All the gold.
We had Gigi Dolan and JC Jane win the NXT Women's Tag Team titles. Then Mandy Rose wins her first singles title by beating Gonzalez for the women's title after a surprise attack from Dakota Kai. So
she was looking spooky out there in that little black thing with that shovel. I was like, what's going on there?
That she was.
Just on that ladder match for the women's tag, did you see that that scary bump that Io Shirai took when
I did.
I've watched it a couple of times again today, just before, just to sort of get across what I was. But who was Indy flipped the ladder, didn't she? Indy Hartwell flipped the ladder, and I think only the fact that Io Shirai is such a professional, she managed to spin herself just in time to land on that ladder on the outside. But that could have been real dangerous. I think
it could have been really nasty. She did tweet out today, I think, "I'm not dead."
Yeah. So I've seen a couple of different angles, like just people in the crowd that were filming it, and the camera angle that they showed on NXT was okay, yeah, that looks bad. But some of the crowd angles were
look really nasty.
Good. Yeah, that looked real bad.
No good. We then had Imperians, Fabian Archer and Marcel Bartel win the NXT tag team titles in that triple threat match.
Yeah.
Triple threat tag team match.
But I really can't warm to those two, eh?
Neither can I. Neither can I. I'm not
can't
feeling
stand
it.
them. No.
I mean, MSK I like.
I didn't mind, yeah.
But yeah, I'm not feeling it. But they're doing different things in NXT right now. Like this, we had the Usos brother, Solo Sikoa, debut. He interrupted Grayson Waller and LA Knight while they were in the ring being idiots.
When he came out, I honestly thought the Usos had a triplet. I was scared how much he looked like Jimmy and Jay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wow, hang on a second. But obviously it's not.
No mention that he's a relation yet, but I'm sure we'll get there. I mean, he only did one move, but it looked pretty good.
Yeah. Speaking of one move, we had Zion Quinn backstage. Did you see he choke slammed the Elvis impersonator?
I did see that.
Through the table. So he's getting a little mini push. I think he's sort of getting a little run. So
he is, and I'm not sure of her name, but his girlfriend, Daniel Vidot's girlfriend,
Yeah.
I believe. She sang out the Inspiration in their
Really?
debut for at Bound for Glory. So we'll get to Bound for Glory later, but
We will.
I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty interesting. We then had Bron Breakker and Ciampa. All through the night, Bron Breakker was being trolled, I guess, a little bit by Chucky, the doll Chucky, which some might not know, but this harks back to 23 years ago on a WCW Nitro.
23 years ago, wow.
The Chucky doll was trolling his dad, Rick Steiner.
But we're not allowed to talk about the fact that he's his dad.
Well, it's funny that we're not allowed to talk about, but Chucky on the pay-per-view was.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they're taking the piss out of us now. It's like,
so that was a cool little addition. But
I can't believe it's been that long, 23 years.
23 years. Ciampa ended up keeping the title.
Yeah, I think that was the good decision there.
Right move. I mean, they're pushing Breakker very, very fast.
Yeah, you don't want to put the title on him straight away. Like they do that too often in WWE.
Yeah.
So just make him work for it a little bit more. And working with Ciampa, though. Ciampa's a star.
Ciampa's a champ.
Ciampa's a champ. There you go. That should be his go-to.
New T-shirt. I'm seeing it.
Pro wrestling tees.
Pro wrestling tees. Ciampa's a champ. We then move on to AEW. Now we've literally just finished Dynamite. Actually, Dynamite might still be on right now.
I was literally watching it before we started this, but
in saying that, so we have Orange Cassidy, Bryan Danielson, Eddie Kingston, and Jon Moxley have all advanced in the world title tournament. We have Ruby Soho got the first win of the TBS Championship tournament, and Hikaru Shida also advanced on Dynamite today.
Yeah.
Rampage. We had Pac versus Andrade, which was an incredible match.
Good match, yeah.
Absolutely incredible match. Finished off. Pac ended up getting the win. Lights went out. Malachi Black came out, spit some mist in Pac's face. Just as him and Andrade were about to do some damage, Cody came in and made the save, which we then saw Cody took on Black.
Yeah, that was a great match.
In an absolute classic match where Cody finally got the win.
Finally. But yeah, I thought it was a brilliant match, actually. I thought it was like one of the better matches I've seen in a while, to be honest.
Absolutely. We then saw a bit of a tease for a Punk v Fish match. Punk made the save when Fish was attacking Anthony Green after one of his matches, and that happened today on Dynamite.
That was a decent match.
A pretty good match. Punk ended up hitting the GTS for the win, but there was a bevy of counters involved, and yeah, it was a pretty good match. We also had Sammy Guevara retained his TNT title against All Ego Ethan Page, and it looks like we're going to get a 10-man match between Inner Circle and American Top Team at Full Gear now.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because if Sammy didn't win, he was going to lose. He had to get out of Inner Circle as well. So I mean,
that's right.
Then Jericho came out tonight or today, and they sorted it all out.
So if it's a 10-man tag match, 5-person per team, so we're going to have Page and Sky for American Top Team.
Yeah.
Who else? Dos Santos.
You would think so.
We're going to see Masvidal.
Does Paige Van Zandt get a start?
Maybe. Are we going to see Masvidal in the ring? Surely they've been building to it, right?
Yeah, he might be like the last sort of surprise entrant or something like that.
It'll be interesting to see. We also had Tony Nese made his debut. Made his debut during the Dark tapings and is now signed with AEW. So
officially signed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So plenty of stuff coming out of AEW. It's looking exciting, getting towards Full Gear.
You got MJF and Darby Allin. Darby called him out saying after he attacked Sting last week as well. So
yep.
And then Darby came out today and was just said MJF Full Gear. So that'll be another match.
That will be. Oh, he's so easy to hate. I love him.
Probably one of the best.
I love him. One of the best. He's come out this week saying that he's better than Roman Reigns. He's better on the stick. Even saying, when my contract's up at AEW, there's going to be a lot of offers. Who knows if I'll even re-sign with them? And
yeah. What about with the whole Sting thing? He said Darby Allin only got injured because of you. You've never got anybody's back. Same as your old mate Lex Luger. He's ended up in a wheelchair. I was like, Luger's been sick for a long time, and he's like full just going at Luger as well.
He's not afraid. I mean,
no holds barred with him.
Yeah,
he doesn't care.
Yeah, very scary. I mean, even some of the stuff he was saying about Brian Pillman when he was taking on Brian Pillman
Junior, yeah, just doesn't care.
He's not scared to go at anyone.
You reckon he runs it by them first, though?
Surely you would have to.
You'd have to. Otherwise, because if somebody snapped in the ring, it could be
dangerous. That's it for what's going on in AEW. Just in other news, we mentioned Bound for Glory before. The Inspiration making their debut to win the Knockouts Tag Team Championship. I saw a bit of the match. It wasn't great. But
we'll just leave it at that.
But it did the champs. It got him the belts.
There was a lot of title changes on that Bound for Glory card, actually.
Yeah. We had Mickie James becoming the Knockouts champion after beating Deonna Purrazzo. And then we had Josh Alexander beating Christian for the world title. Held onto the world title for all of a few minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, 30 seconds?
Moose cashed in his guaranteed shot that he won earlier in the evening. So Moose is now the Impact champion.
Yeah, that was nice. Just other news as well. Ring of Honor. They've announced that they're going on hiatus as of the end of the year and releasing all their superstars.
Huge news.
That's a big, there's a lot of people going into the pool.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see who gets snapped up.
It'll be interesting to see how they rebrand.
Yeah.
They're taking 3 months off. They're going to reimagine and rebrand the whole thing. So, do they look for a TV deal? What are they going to do with it?
They might have something in the works and they need time and maybe some cash flow issues or something like that. But
maybe Tony Khan put some money into it,
He's got plenty, so why not?
Yeah. Could be, it's a bit of a...
they're obviously not saying that everybody's fired. They're just saying you guys can go and do whatever you want.
You're released from your contract.
Yeah, we're not going to hold you to anything.
So that will be interesting. The only other note I had was Braun Strowman. Obviously didn't show up at Bound for Glory, and the reports of him going to Impact, I guess, aren't true at this point. He's only going to perform one show this year, apparently, which is going to be just an indie show under a name, The Titan.
The Titan.
That's fair. He's a Titan.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. So we will see. Maybe we'll have to wait till 2022 before we see Braun Strowman somewhere.
Yeah, the thing with that is he's not going to sign. If he signs with anybody big, we're going to know about it beforehand because of all the dirt sheets and everything else. You just don't get any secrets anymore.
No,
I'd love for him to come out and be a surprise entry in the Rumble or something like that and re-sign with WWE. But it's just,
there are no secrets in the business anymore unless you choose to keep a blind eye to it all.
Yeah, but it's just so hard. It's just everywhere. And as both ourselves, we're always online. We're always looking at stuff, trying to keep up to date. And you just see everything. So
I think the way to do it is like AEW have done it, have so many secrets so that it's exciting to find out which secret is the one that's happening. Yeah, with the Brian,
just release everything and then just
with the Brian Danielson, entry, that wasn't expected, and
then Adam Cole,
because Adam Cole came out first, and that's the trick. Have so many secrets going around. Now, that's all we've got for you on this week's edition of the 3 Count Podcast. Please hit us up on the socials. Check out our draft from last week, which Benny, you're getting a bit of love for. There's not too much love for my Super Showdown card.
Everyone was saying that. I read a couple of comments that nobody liked the fact that you were putting Gable Stevenson in there, and nobody wanted to see washed up actors.
I heard that one of the comments was I would only watch it if it was Drax versus Peacemaker. Not Cena v Batista.
That was good.
So thanks for the comments, guys. Keep them coming. We appreciate it. Make sure you hit us up on all those socials, comments, suggestions at 3 Count Pod on Twitter and Facebook, at 3 Count Podcast on Instagram, or email us 3countpod@outlook.com. We're going to be back in 2 weeks to preview a huge AEW Full Gear card. Of course, give our thoughts and all the lead up to Survivor Series and what's happening in WWE. Plus, we'll have another very special draft for you. And I may also have some news as to something a little special I might be doing for KO coming up in the future, featuring the one and only Rey Mysterio. So keep tuned for that. But thanks very much for joining us, Benny.
Thanks, mate. It was enjoy the rest of your birthday.
I will try my very best. And
pleasure as always.
Thanks again, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks.